A woman is recovering after she was shot in the face while driving on Jacksonville's south side. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office took the suspect into custody on the scene. Our Zach Wilcox joins us live now from Richard Street near University Boulevard. And Zach, police gave you a briefing on what happened.
Yeah, Riley, it's still early on in this investigation, so details are somewhat limited, and we don't know exactly what the motive was at this point. However, I can tell you that we found that the shooting was around 10:30 in the morning, and the driver, the victim, was able to drive herself to the hospital after the shooting. I did ask the sergeant if the bullet went through a window because there's some shattered glass here that we've seen car after car avoiding. They weren't able to answer that at this point, and like I mentioned, no motive at this point as to why a man in his 40s who was outside of the car would shoot into a car at the woman driver who was in her 30s. But we did talk with a few folks around here who mentioned that they saw the police scene earlier today. They had a hard time navigating around it for a while. They wanted to know more information about what happened here, but they do believe at this point that this was an isolated incident and that the suspect is cooperating. They were able to take him into custody on the scene after the woman drove herself to the hospital. It was a non-life-threatening injury. However, the bullet did hit her in the face, and so the sergeant told us that it was very close to being something that could have been tragic.
Officers were able to respond quickly and take the suspect into custody. We believe this to be an isolated incident and there is no further danger to the community.
Now, he did mention that the suspect was, or that the victim was driving when this happened, so not sure if this was the intended target for the suspect shooting, but he is cooperating with police at this point. They're going through surveillance video to try and establish what happened here. I will tell you, there's a Taco Bell and a racetrack right nearby here. We checked in the Taco Bell. They mentioned their cameras don't point down this far. However, the racetrack, they weren't able to show us their cameras, so there could be surveillance video that would help police in this investigation. On the south side, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.